I'm here with Leah Herzwurm of Herzwurm Homes. Leah, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. There's a lot to celebrate, both personally and professionally these days, and especially this year. How did we get here? I mean, talking about you getting to this place of influencer as awarded last night and mom to be. I mean, you've got a lot of things to be grateful for. How are things going?
Yes, so much to be grateful for. It has been a whirlwind of the last 6 years, truly. It was like last night was emotional. First of all, it was emotional for more than one reason because the picture they chose of me was my very first headshot. It was like, who is that girl? Who is that girl? But it was like, I don't know, it was a lot to think about. Oh my gosh, look what has happened over, such a short period of time, really, in the grand scheme of things. But I have a lot of, you know, thanks to you for the growth, that I've seen over the years. So I appreciate you and your role that you've played.
Absolutely. And we'll get into that. Don't you worry. But I think it's important that some people know, you got into this career shortly after college. There were big changes
Yeah.
for you coming here.
We thrive in chaos. We really, really do. The crazy Herzworms. You don't know what to expect with us. I was a child bride, as my best friend likes to tell me. I'm from Augusta, Georgia, so things are a little different in the South. A lot of people have engagement rings by senior year of college. Totally normal. I learned when I moved here that is not normal. People were like, "What in the world?" My husband and I have been together since I was 15 and he was 16. So we dated for 7 years, got married. I literally graduated college on May 12th. We got married May 24th, went on a 1 week honeymoon, moved 8 hours away to Tampa, Florida, and started my first job the Monday after my honeymoon. So when we do things, we do things. Like, a lot of change is always happening. There's always a lot of chaos in our lives. But yeah, it was quite the whirlwind. I never envisioned our lives in Florida. Um, there's a saying like, you make plans and you hear God laughing. That was the case. I always pictured our life in Augusta or Atlanta, but God had different plans for us, and here we are. And I'm glad that He did.
So the last 6 years have had a lot of success, a lot of growth, and a lot of craziness, of course. And I think one of the things that, as a millennial, as a younger professional, sometimes there can be this feeling of, when do you earn it, or when have you arrived, that arrival of confidence, and that, like, you own what you do. I mean, can you speak to how that has creeped into your mind over the years? And
Oh yeah, it was a huge struggle. Like, I had imposter syndrome probably up until this last year or so. I feel like I've finally, gained that confidence. But, I always felt very undeserving, or even though I worked hard for it, I don't know, I struggled with feeling like I was worthy to, worthy of success. And I was very self-conscious about my age. There were many people who were very supportive, of, you got this, you can do it. But there was also, those people who are like, oh, you're so young, and so I definitely let that creep in over the years. But now I'm proud of, my age and what I've been able to accomplish. I'm 28 and have lived a lot of life and done a lot of things, that I am very proud of. But it was definitely hard to get to this point.
well, and so what advice do you give to someone who might be in that place? They're in their mid 20s. Quite frankly, they could be in their mid 30s and still not feeling like necessarily they can own that space. What advice do you give to that person that's feeling that way?
Just push those thoughts out. You are worthy and you are capable, and age is just nothing but a number. It truly is. And I think people are going to, they're going to look at how you show up. And there's plenty of clients who are shocked when they find out how old that I am. Hopefully not that I look old. I haven't been able to get Botox since being pregnant, so I don't know. This business definitely have some gray hairs. But I think it's all about how you show up. And if you show up as a professional and, prove your value, it doesn't matter how old that you are, because trust me, I work with a lot of 50, 60-year-olds that don't do as good of a job as plenty of people in their 20s that I know.